right, we're going to review for social studies today, chapters 5, 6, and 7. You also want to review the locations of those different 13 colonies, because as I mentioned, that's on the test as well. Okay, you want to get out your social studies notebook. See if you can find those chapter 5, 6, and 7 notes, your charts. Okay, I have here in my hand a copy of the test you're taking tomorrow.
Yay.
So I would encourage you to follow along and listen, to write down some additional notes or highlight notes you already have written down. Okay, if you knew the answer, then maybe it's not as important for you to study that particular question. But if you didn't know the answer, then I would take a minute and write it down. Or if you see it there in your notes, highlight it. Okay, you also had a 13 colonies worksheet that we did Monday. Okay, you can get that out. Give you a second, gather those things before we get started. Emmy. No. You can use it now to study before the test. So this is chapter 5, lesson 4. All right. We getting ready? No. I'm ready.
Which chapter? 3 or 2?
5, 6, and 7.
So you're just reading out the answers?
No, I'm going to read you the questions. You're going to give me the answers. John.
Wait, that's the test?
John. Did you put it in the basket? If you put it in the yellow basket, you can grab it out. Remember, make it quick. The 13 colonies worksheet I graded on Schoology. Okay, I looked over those. I marked the ones that you had wrong. Most of you did pretty well on it, but I would go back and check and make sure you have them labeled properly. Some of you just started at the top with New Hampshire and worked your way down. Okay, it wasn't listed that way for 1 through 13. Number 1 happened to be Pennsylvania. So you had to look at the numbered states and then write down what it was. Okay? All right. Question, Claire? Okay. Yeah, I noticed that. I haven't graded them yet, so that's why it's up there. All right. Notebooks out, pencils out, iPads are put away. You don't need them right now. Look at that stuff later. Here we go. Which religious group founded the first New England colonies? Which religious group? So the name of that religious group might be on that chapter 5 chart. Okay, a lot of the groups then looked for religious freedom from that particular group. What was that group's name? John? The Pilgrims were looking for religious freedom. They were, but there's a particular religious group. Nick?
The Quakers?
That was, the Quakers were getting out of this group. They wanted to do kind of their own thing.
What was the end of the question?
What group founded the first New England colonies? Jackson?
Puritans.
Yeah, the Puritans founded the first New England colonies. What does the word industry mean in the sentence below? The lumber industry made up a large part of the economy in the New England colonies.
How many questions?
What does industry mean? Juliana?
All the businesses that make one kind of product or offer one kind of service.
Exactly. A business that makes one product or offers a service. So Juliana has it in her notebook, so I would just highlight it. I wouldn't spend time rewriting. And I wouldn't rewrite everything. Okay, you know you need to know the word industry, so I would at least write the word industry down and come back later and write the definition. Okay? So industry, a business that makes one product or provides a service, one particular service. All right. What does the word economy mean in the sentence below? The lumber industry made up a large part of the economy in the New England colonies. What's an economy? We talked about that word a lot. Jackson.
Like the people and all the things.
All those things work together to do what for a region? We're going to call those things resources, right? So it's the resources that help a region do what? A state, a town, a country. You include the people because you need the people to work, right? You have businesses. All of those things affect the economy. How? It's another vocab word that you wrote down and defined at some point in these chapters. What vocab word means to be successful, to have wealth. Put it away, Canyon. What word is that? You need notes out. Writing these things down.
I wasn't there last week.
None of us were here last week, but that
No,
doesn't
the week that
it doesn't mean you don't do nothing. You're taking the test tomorrow. You need your notes out. Starts with a P. Success.
what?
To be wealthy. This word starts with a P. PR. Oh, Juliana found it. What is it?
It's like prosperity or something.
You're right, prosperity. So the resources in a state or a town or a city, in our case, we're talking about these colonies. Okay, these resources help them prosper, help their prosperity, help them provide money and food for all the people that are there living and working. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's what economy is. Write down the word economy. Need to know that one. Write down the word prosper. It's a good one to know. Why did the English want control of the Dutch colony? Why did they want the Dutch colonies? Jackson?
To get the wealth.
They did. They did. They wanted all of that, the wealth. What else did they want? Riker?
They wanted wealth and more power over them.
They did.
Land.
Land. That's key. Wealth, land. Juliana?
We wanted to be part of a territory.
Possibly. Yeah, they wanted to be over there, right? They wanted to control the Atlantic coast. Why would they want to control that Atlantic coast? So let's look again over to our map. And then I'll ask the question again.
I thought it just cared.
Doesn't want to stay though today. Oh, there it goes. But it's kind of cutting some of our states off here. So we're over here. Here's our Atlantic Ocean. They want to control all of this because they're coming in from over here, right? Why would they want to control that? Josh?
So then, like, they could like fish and stuff, and then
Yeah.
they could have like ports.
The ports, the fishing, right? All that stuff's going to happen along this coast, which is then going to make them wealthy. Anything else, Kenny?
They can control who comes in and out.
Good. They can control who comes in and out of the land, right? Because they haven't gone this far yet. Okay, we're just kind of migrating in right now, so they can control all that land.
That's wrong.
Okay, and keep people in or out. Yeah, Josh?
Did all the states we have now look different back then?
They did. If you look at even the map I gave you now, it doesn't look exactly like some of these. Okay, so they changed over time. Hunter?
The people from the other side would not think that they can come over to the other side where the other colonies are. So they wouldn't want to travel from all the way over here.
A longer way to travel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So the English wanted to control the entire Atlantic coast. Okay, because of the reasons you mentioned. Okay, gives them wealth. They can control who comes in and out. There's ports there for ships. All right, next one. Why was farming in the middle colonies a better economic choice than farming in the New England colonies? Adam? Right, the soil in the middle colonies was better. Remember, in New England, they had a lot of trees, forests, it was rocky, so they did a lot of shipbuilding and lumber. So the middle colonies had soil that was very fertile and was better for farming, so they chose farming. Okay, Emmy? to the English wanted to control the Dutch colony. So why did they want to control the Dutch colonies? And it was because they wanted to control the coast. Okay? And then this last one, why farming in the middle colonies? And the soil was better in the middle colonies. That's fine, we'll deal with it later. Okay? We good? All right. Turn my page here. Here we go. This is true or false. There were many conflicts between Native Americans and colonists because both groups did not see land ownership in the same way. True or false? John? That was true, right? How did the Native Americans believe? What did they believe about the land? Maya?
They believed the land was theirs, or it was for sharing.
Right.
They were there first.
Yeah, the Native Americans felt they should be sharing. Yes?
Can you specify kind of meat for your lunch?
Hang on, I'll call you.
Specify your meat.
Right?
Specify your
Lunch issue.
meat?
You gotta take care of lunch.
Exactly. Yeah, why did she interrupt him for lunch?
Alright.
Why do you
Got our lunch issue fixed.
what are you eating?
What are you eating?
Mexican food.
Yeah. Wait, what'd you get? Steak?
Enchiladas.
Wait, but the type of meat wasn't steak?
Beef. No, I did beef.
From where?
The place in Hebron.
Oh, Tracy.
That, yep. Alright. Back to our Native Americans. So, Native Americans felt like the land should be shared, right? They didn't think any one person should own it. And here, the Europeans are coming in, these England colonists are coming in, kind of taking the land over, so there would be a lot of conflicts. They did bring diseases as well, you're right.
Yeah.
Alright, so that one would be true. Another true false. Plantations are large farms that require many workers to help with planting, caring for crops, and harvesting. Adam? That's another true one. Who worked on those plantation farms? Nick?
Slaves.
Right, they had the slaves work on those, which that helped those plantation owners, right? Okay, if it weren't for them, those plantation farms would not have been successful. Okay? Kenny?
Also, they had indentured servants.
They did. They had some indentured servants, and those were people that their trip over was paid for, and they had to work until they paid off that debt. Okay, so they had both. William Penn was against justice for all people. True or false? Josh?
True?
William Penn against it?
Oh no, false.
Yeah, false. He was very much for justice for everybody. Native Americans, everybody. Okay, religious groups, didn't matter. He was all for equality. All right. Most colonies were founded and settled for for what reasons? What two main reasons did we continue to come across of why colonies were founded? John, give me one. Religious freedom was one. What was the other one, Jackson?
Economic success.
Yep, economic opportunity or economic success. So those are the two main reasons. There were some other ones sprinkled in there, but overall, religious freedom and economic opportunity were the two main reasons we read about. What does it mean, economic opportunity? What is that? Nick?
It's like opportunities to like prosper.
Yeah, opportunities to prosper, opportunities for work. Okay, they wanted to do different things. In what way did the New England colonies have a representative government? Ooh, so what is a representative government? That's what you need to think about. That's what you need to know. I don't think this is right.
What is the test wrong?
The answer's not right. So I'll have to fix that one.
But Miss Long, are these all the answers that you're telling us?
Yes, they are.
You just have to
This
memorize.
is why we're studying.
That's why we're studying. No, you're not able to use your notes. I'm not
No,
trying to
just
trick
I
you
meant,
when you
like,
take this test.
When you have free time or something, you have to like get them in mind, and then you remember them.
Imagine if you did all this and you let us use our notes. That would be legendary.
That would be
That would be legendary.
that would be.
Well, what's the answer to this question?
What?
What's a representative government?
Ooh.
Nick doesn't know. I think I know.
I do.
Raise your hand. Then raise your hand.
And I have to fix that one.
Go
All right.
ahead.
Juliana, what's a representative government?
I think I know this. I don't know. I may get this wrong, but is it government like where like only like white men can vote?
That was part of it. The voting is what is the important part of a representative government, okay? Yes, it was only white men that own land that could vote,
And
so
they
it was
would have to be,
limited.
like, over 20.
But if you're voting, what are you doing? What does that mean? Here I go in and I vote for this person. What's that person supposed to do for me? Adam? Provide what? Yeah, they're supposed to be providing maybe the things to or telling the government the things that I like, right? The things that I believe to be true. So I have this
Like your
person.
religious brothers?
Not necessarily that when you're talking government, my more like political beliefs, right? The
And,
things
like-
I believe to be true that should
like-
be laws or shouldn't be laws.
Like now, like taxes and stuff?
Yeah, taxes, that kind of stuff. So I am picking a leader to represent my beliefs. I'm electing somebody who I think would be a good leader to represent my beliefs, okay? And everybody has different beliefs, but somebody is representing me then in the government. That's what a representative government is, okay? They're electing leaders to represent themselves. That way we don't have millions of people trying to run the government.
Yeah.
That'd get a little crazy, right? Riker?
Are we doing the test on paper or iPad?
It'll be on Schoology. It'll be on the iPad, okay? All right, so you have this map, which will be similar to the one that I gave to you, okay? And you'll have to label this map.
Oh, it's easy.
Some are already labeled for you, so you don't have to necessarily label all of them. There is a word bank, okay? So you'll be reviewing those colonies on that paper we worked on. Yes, that paper we
Is
worked
that
on, I
for
believe,
today or
Tuesday.
tomorrow? Is that for today or
This is for tomorrow. So this is all on the test.
So we
Okay?
have no actual, besides studying, no actual homework.
Correct. You're gonna have no assignment other than to study. Last question. Something to write down and think about.
I got it.
Similar to what we just kind of talked about. What is one example of how people in the 13 colonies practiced self-government? One example. Nick?
Like with the pilgrims, they did it and they governed themselves.
How? What does that mean to be self-governing?
Like they I don't know.
So think about some of those government plans that they created. I think there was the Pennsylvania frame of government. There's another one, I can't remember the name of it right now. But those were plans that these colonists were creating on their own, right?
Yeah.
Okay, William Penn was one that we generally remember. He created that government for his colonies because he wanted to run them differently. Okay, so William Penn created this government, this plan on his own, and didn't necessarily, I don't want to say didn't listen to England, but kind of did what he wanted in his colony. Okay, they made their own government plans that they were going to follow and live by. Nick?
If I'm the governor,
Mm-hmm.
I'm self-governing myself. If I'm in court, can I just say no?
No. That's why they were creating these rules, right? William Penn created a plan, okay? And that plan then, along with elected leaders, helped him keep the colony under control, right? That's why we need laws and rules, right? To keep things from being chaotic. Riker?
William Penn was the Quaker, right?
Yeah.
And he was friends with the king, and then he went on to
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Because
William William Penn was the one that was, no, you're thinking of somebody else. William Penn was the one that, was banned from the colony and left, right? Or am I confusing him with somebody
No,
now?
I think.
There's
that-
so many people.
I think he because the king didn't like the religion he had, so he
Right.
took it somewhere else.
So
I
he
think
left.
I think it was Pennsylvania.
There's somebody else too.
Colonies and there's like 20 people.
I don't
I think
know.
you're right. There's somebody else that was banned with Anne. We didn't talk about Anne. Penny.
Maya just told me that I was right, and I don't know.
Maya's right. She knows.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Josh.
So basically, if the stuff that happened before anybody was technically
In the United States.
yeah.
Okay, before the United States was the United
Hold on.
States.
I'm trying to think.
Okay.
So people of the 13 colonies did not do what they did, everything would be changed.
Everything probably would be different. A lot of the government plans and the rules and the things that they created here, some still are what we have today. Okay, the religious freedom and that kind of stuff. The trial by jury. Okay, those things still are part of our government and constitution even now.
The
Okay.
Constitution was signed in
A long time ago, right?
1725.
So all of that was kind of the groundwork for what we have today. Okay? All right, so you don't have any additional assignment for social studies, just to review those 13 colonies and where they're located on the map. The notes we just went over. Okay, making sure you know those couple of vocab words. William Penn is an important guy. Okay, the Puritans, that kind of stuff. Okay, self-government, representative government. So there are only 12 questions. It's not a terribly long test, but just enough to make sure you have a general idea of these colonies. Okay, John, question?
Is it okay if I watch the video again?
Yeah. Once I get it posted, you can watch as many times as you want. Juliana? All right, that's it for today.